Riad Mohamed El Sunbati, Egyptian Arabic, also written as Riad Sonbati or Riad Sonbati, November 30, 1906 to September 10, 1981, was a 20th century Egyptian composer and musician who was considered an icon of Egyptian music. The number of his lyric works is 539 works in Egyptian opera, operetta, cinematic and religious song, poem, Taqtouqa and Mawalia. The number of song poets who he composed for is more than 120 poets. He composed for many famous Arab singers like Umm Kulthum, Fayrouz, yet to be released, Asmahan, Warda Al-Jazairia, Najat Al Saghira, Mounira El Mahdeya, Fayza Ahmed, Saleh Abdel Hai, Souad Mohamed, Aziza Galal, who was the last singer to sing one of his melodies, and others. Sunbati was the first-born boy after 8 girls in a family in the city of Fairouz, Damietta Governorate, Egypt on November 30, 1906. His father was a singer, singing in the maulids, weddings, and religious holidays in the nearby villages and towns. Riad used to listen to his father playing the oud and singing. When he was 9, his father caught him outside the school, hiding at the carpenter's sawmill playing the oud and singing Sayyid Darwish, and decided to take him to sing in the weddings with him. The father didn't stay put in Fairouz but traveled with his family to Mansoura, Dakalia, so the young Riad was placed in a Kutab school. However, his studies didn't interest him as much as music did. When Sunbati was 9, he got a disease in his eyes which made it hard to read, so he gave up studying and his father started teaching him the basic principles of music and its rhythms instead. Sunbati showed a remarkable talent, and became the star of the band and its lead singer. Soon he earned himself the nickname Bulbul al-Mansoura, the Nightingale of Mansoura. When Sayyid Darwish first heard Sunbati, he invited him to come with him to Alexandria to have better chances, but Sunbati's father refused. He was depending on him and his band. In 1928, Sunbati the father moved to Cairo with Riad, thinking that Riad deserved to prove himself in the artistic life, just like Umm Kulthum, whose father was friend to Riad's father before moving to Cairo. In this year, Sunbati began a new stage in his life. He registered at the Arab Music Institute and was appointed as a teacher for playing the oud and singing. From here, his fame grew, and his name began to appear in the celebrations of the institute as a skilled player. However, he stayed for only 3 years, after which he quit and decided to enter the world of composing. His first composition was a poem of Ahmed Shawki which was composed and sung later by Muhammad Abdul Wahab, Mekadir Men Jafnaki. He also worked as an oudist and a vocalist in Muhammad Abdel Wahab's Taqt ensemble, where he appears in his song El Nile Nagachi in the movie Al-Warda Al-Bayda. In the early 1930s, he started working with Odeon Records, a major Egyptian recording studio where he recorded various taxams of his own. Odeon Company introduced him as a composer for its famous singers like Saleh Abdel Hai, Abdel Ghani Al-Sayyad, Raja Abdo, and Najat Ali. In 1979, Riad Al Sunbati received the prestigious UNESCO International Music Prize as a performer of the oud, becoming the first person from the Middle East and the only Egyptian to receive that award. He was also known for his unique and original taxams, which are famous for being the most authentic Arabic taxams of that periods, which are widely used as a model of maqam music in Middle Eastern music schools. A collection of his taxams on major Arabic maqams was recorded later in his career. One of his most famous instrumental compositions is Langa Riad, also known as Langa Sultani Yaga, which is considered to be the most famous Arabic langa, which was played by many Western and Turkish orchestras and oudists. In the middle of the 1930s, Umm Kulthum became more and more famous across the Egyptian countryside, and therefore Riad was looking forward to meeting her. Their first meeting occurred by chance at a train station. Riad Al Sunbati composed for Umm Kulthum for the first time, in the song Ala Balad El Mahbub, to the country of the beloved, in 1935 for her movie Wadad, and although Umm Kulthum refused to sing the song in the film, she recorded it after the great success of the song. Her recording in turn, which was a huge success. As a result, he then joined her artistic team, which included Mohammed El Kasabji and Zakaria Ahmad, becoming her youngest composer at that time. He worked with Umm Kulthum in many of their songs for her films, such as Ifrayat Al-Bai, which was considered to be the song where he developed his unique style. He composed over 200 songs for her, more than any other composer had. At the same time, he composed Arab poems, which almost all other composers failed to do, so he deserved the name he was given from Umm Kulthum, the genius. He was also one of the only composers whom Umm Kulthum highly respected his opinions and agreed to all his remarks in compositions. He composed many classical masterpieces for Umm Kulthum such as Rubaiyat al-Khayyam, the highly appreciated Persian poem of Omar Khayyam which was translated by Ahmad Rami to Arabic. He also composed many religious songs, becoming the best composer of religious songs as Muhammad Abdul Wahhab described him. One of his most known songs is Zikriyat, whose overture is considered to be one of the longest in Arabic music and even longer than Abdul Wahhab's Inta Umri. Riad Al Sunbati used to record most of his compositions for Umm Kulthum in his own voice on separate discs, as his first musical career has been singing. The song Al-Itlal, The Ruins, is one of the Arab music classics. Many critics considered it the crown of the Arab song and the best 20th century Arab song. It is considered by many the best of what Umm Kulthum sang, and the best of what Sunbati composed. Umm Kulthum sang Al-Itlal in 1966 after 2 years from Muhammad Abdul Wahhab's first song to Umm Kulthum, Inta Umri, You Are My Life, and it had the same huge success. 1952 was the start of Sunbati's acting career when he took the leading role with Huna Sultan in the film Habib Albi, The Love of My Heart, becoming his first and last experience as an actor. He later refused other roles as an actor as he preferred his job as a composer, as he believed acting was not his thing. He also wrote the musical score for the film as well as the song Fidel Yumin, 2 Days Left, he performed in the film. Most notable compositions for Umm Kulthum include Al-Itlal, The Ruins, Rubaiyat al-Khayyam, Quatrains of Omar Khayyam, Ayala Balad al-Mabugd, To the Country of the Beloved, Ifraya Albi, Yalila Delide, Zikriyat, Yali Kan Yeshki Kanini, Lesa Faker, Hayard Albi Maike, Amwitiani, El Albi Yeshak Kol Gamil, Menaji Elanik, Hadith al Rug, Thorat al Shek, Arolamin, Arake Asy al Dama, Al Thulathia al Mukadesa, Ashlak, Ila al Kutn, Rabi Subanak Daman compositions, Langa Farafaza, Langa Riad, Shanghai Dance.